My name is Nina. I'm 27 years old, and 3 years ago I married a man who once signed my paychecks. His name is Adrian. When I first joined his marketing firm, I was 24, shy, and terrified of making mistakes. Adrian was 36, focused, disciplined, and known for being emotionally distant. Employees respected him, but no one really felt close to him. For 6 months, I worked just outside his office. He barely spoke beyond instructions. No small talk. No personal questions. Just work. But one rainy evening changed everything. Most of the team had already gone home. I stayed back preparing reports for an early client meeting. Around 8:45 p.m., Adrian stepped out of his office and noticed me still working. "You're dedicated," he said. I smiled nervously. "I just don't want you to worry tomorrow." He paused, looked at me carefully. "I don't say this enough," he added, "but I appreciate you, Nina." That was the first time I saw warmth in his eyes. After that, something shifted. He began asking about my weekend. He remembered how I preferred jasmine tea. Once, he even brought me lunch when I skipped it during a busy day. These were small gestures, but they felt personal. And I started noticing him too. The way he rubbed his temples when stressed. The way he stared at the city skyline late at night. The way loneliness followed him even in crowded meetings. I told myself it was foolish. He was my boss. But feelings don't care about job titles. Then came the complication. One Monday morning, I walked into his office and froze. A stunning woman stood beside him, her hand lightly touching his arm. She had sharp features, elegant posture, and confidence that demanded attention. "Nina," Adrian said calmly, "this is Clara," his ex-girlfriend. For the next few weeks, Clara appeared frequently. Lunch meetings. Private conversations. Soft laughter behind closed doors. I overheard her once say, "We were good together, Adrian. We can be again." And one afternoon, I heard silence from him. Silence can be more painful than rejection. That night, I admitted the truth to myself. I loved him. I updated my resume. Before I could resign, Adrian asked me to stay late. When the office emptied, he closed the door and leaned against his desk. "Clara wants another chance," he said. I forced myself to nod. "That's good." "It's not," he replied immediately. "I don't love her anymore. I thought I did. But what I miss isn't her, it's the version of myself I was back then." He stepped closer. "You see me now, Nina. You notice when I'm tired. You care when I don't eat. That matters." His voice lowered. "I have feelings for you, but I refuse to abuse my position. If this becomes something, it must be equal." Within a month, he transferred me to another department. Higher salary. Different reporting manager. Only then did we start dating. For the first time, we were not boss and assistant. We were simply Nina and Adrian. 8 months later, he proposed. No grand spectacle. Just a quiet rooftop dinner overlooking the city lights. I said yes without hesitation. Marriage felt peaceful, safe, warm. Adrian was attentive, loyal, steady. He came home on time. He helped with dishes. He listened when I spoke. But slowly, without realizing it, I changed. Work became routine. Home became comfortable. I stopped wearing fitted dresses. I tied my hair up carelessly. I chose oversized sweaters and loose pajamas every evening. Makeup became rare. He never complained. And because he never complained, I stopped trying. One day, Adrian mentioned casually, we hired a new assistant. Her name was Lena. When I met her at an office event, I understood immediately. She was effortlessly polished. Perfect posture. Subtle perfume. Sharp heels that clicked confidently across the marble floor. She smiled brightly when Adrian spoke, and I noticed something small but significant. Adrian smiled more at work. Not inappropriately. Not romantically. Just lighter. At home, he remained loving. He hugged me. He laughed with me. But something inside me began to shrink. Then one afternoon, I visited the office unannounced. Lena stood near his desk, laughing softly at something he said. And that's when I saw them. Her glossy heels. They were almost identical to the ones Clara used to wear. Suddenly, I felt insecure in a way I hadn't felt in years. Adrian wasn't cheating. He wasn't even flirting. But I realized something uncomfortable. Men notice beauty. Even faithful men. That night, I stood in front of the mirror and barely recognized myself. I hadn't taken care of myself in months. Not because I was tired. Because I was comfortable. Impulsively, I reached out to Clara. Yes, his ex. She agreed to meet. We sat in a cafe, awkward at first. But when I explained my fears, she didn't laugh. Instead, she said something sharp and honest. Marriage doesn't mean attraction disappears. A man can love deeply and still respond to beauty. If you want security, don't compete with the other woman. Compete with the version of yourself you abandoned. Her words stayed with me. For the next 3 months, I made changes. Not extreme. Not desperate. Intentional. I updated my wardrobe. I exercised again. I wore perfume. I styled my hair even on random Tuesdays. At home, I stopped hiding in oversized clothes. I chose soft fabrics, flattering cuts, subtle elegance. More importantly, I changed my energy. I laughed more. I teased him again. I flirted the way I used to when we dated. Adrian noticed. He began coming home earlier. He wrapped his arms around me while I cooked. He complimented me without hesitation. One Saturday morning, I walked into the kitchen wearing a silk dress I had been saving for a special occasion. Adrian stared at me for several seconds. "Nina," he whispered, "I forgot how breathtaking you are." He pulled me close and kissed me like we were newly in love. And in that moment, clarity arrived. Adrian had never betrayed me, but I had slowly faded. Marriage is not autopilot. Love can remain steady while attraction quietly weakens. And attraction doesn't die from betrayal. It dies from neglect. Today, I don't dress up every single day. Life is real. Some days are messy. but I never disappear again. Because the biggest mistake isn't another woman. It's forgetting the woman you once were. And sometimes, saving a marriage doesn't require confrontation. It requires reflection and courage, and remembering that confidence is more powerful than any pair of heels.